Can you call me and put yourself on speakerphone?
Should I call?
I just need to be on speakerphone with you.
Okay.
You feel like a really far way away.
Did you send this message to Credo?
I know that was
Say I hate fake lines.
Everett, just for the sake of, I don't know if this will be worth anything or not, but one of Andrew's primary challenges in ownership position is his saltiness. And then Andrew attributes that to a lack of commitment because he keeps talking about his shit or get off the pot. You have experience in dealing with a partner who is salty. Can you share with him what you think makes you different? Because you are not taking the same approach as Andrew is. So I just want to hear yours. I want to, and hopefully it will help Bennett. I want to hear your contrasting perspective on me as your partner who embodies the character traits Andrew is speaking about.
I mean, for me, it all comes down to like my total value that I get from the company and my interest in the company is by far the value I get through having Alex there exceeds what I would have in terms of him leaving. So there's no question in my mind. My position with Alex, it's like, if I remove Alex, I remove most of the value of the company. So saltiness is
Acceptable.
A function of how it is.
What's the value proposition? Everett's got a value on what he gets from working in another company.
And he doesn't associate me being salty with my commitment.
Doesn't even factor in.
Oh yeah.
Everett doesn't say Alexander's salty, he might give up today. You have some concern that his saltiness is going to lead to him giving up. What if his saltiness, what if that's your bullshit? What if that approximation is your own charge? Because when you get salty, you give up on shit. And so now you're putting him in that box. Are you undervaluing his dissatisfaction? And are you occupying your mind with a moral identity around him being a salty character? And ignoring his saltiness as a feedback mechanism to show you what should be worked on in the company or in your life. Because you're attached to the delivery, but you may also be invalidating the content, and maybe both of you are. There's an opportunity for you to look into that. Because if you make it a moral issue about his character and you're ignoring the content of his dissatisfaction, you might be missing a lesson. Really, I think it's wise for all dissatisfaction to be listened to. My employee said to me 3 times, this green paint makes me feel sick. Sorry, Jamie. Right? This green paint makes me feel sick. Dissatisfied, dissatisfied, dissatisfied. I painted the office. Right? Other business owners are like, don't fucking complain, you've got it great. They let the complaint get in the way of the opportunity. So, I don't know, maybe there's an opportunity to separate that. Maybe he's doing you a favor. Maybe you're not dissatisfied enough. If I show enough dissatisfaction in my company, my staff solve problems. Just so we're all clear, when Alexander makes it clear to the rest of the company that there's a problem, resentfully or not, people all of a sudden activate and solve problems. Like, imagine for a second the alarm system of his dissatisfaction doesn't exist. What if you didn't have his dissatisfaction as an indicator? So here's another thing that you're not looking at. You're not seeing his dissatisfaction as the only system that he knows how to use to get you to do the right shit in the company. You said it 4 or 5 times. I go into problem-solving mode when he becomes dissatisfied. And while you're blaming him for being dissatisfied, you're not honoring the system. This is like Schrodinger's cat. No. The one with the bell, Pavlov's dog.
I get the concept, but I can't visualize how to follow through with that.
Well, it looks like if you don't like how, like, it starts with figuring out what system he's following to get whatever result he's triggering consciously or unconsciously, reverse engineering that and figuring out how can I give him different tools to trigger that same response where he knows if he pushes this button, because the thing is, you have to first convince him to try pushing a different button than the button he's been pushing that's been working the whole fucking time, right? So you have to present him with other buttons he can try, and then when he pushes those buttons, they better fucking deliver the same result. And as he starts to see the evidence of that other button producing the same result because you consistently deliver on it, then eventually he'll realize there's more strategies for getting shit done in this business besides complaining. But you've not demonstrated, or the company hasn't demonstrated, any other proven strategy to get you into the problem-solving mode that he needs you to be in. So this is just like a and signal, right? And you're wrapped up in its delivery. Imagine that's the only way he knows how to get you to do what he needs in the company. Now can you call him a shitty leader because of it? That's an effective fucking strategy. Every time he does it, you go and fucking don't you? Seems like it's working. He expresses these certain character traits because of his dissatisfaction, but if that dissatisfaction is a system embedded in the company that drives the result called Andrew, maybe all you need to do is build a different system to trigger your response, and then now he has the ability to grow into a different person. He's trapped in that role because it's the only role he can embody to get what he needs. So you're just as equally responsible for that, just like you would be in a marriage.
If it is a strategy for Andrew, at least it's one you're familiar with. You cut that loose, there's going to be another strategy that emerges.
Yes.
So deal with the fact that you're distracted by him being salty, because you're never going to prevent a person from being salty.
Okay.
Like, wouldn't life be better if I could just get rid of this one character trait?
Right.
Literally.
From everyone.
You're literally talking to me about the one thing I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Every human being has every trait. You never gain nor lose traits. Every human being embodies both sides, and every trait has good and bad qualities. And if you're labeling a trait bad, you don't see how it's serving you. If you're labeling a trait good, you don't see how it's harming you. So maybe you need to look into, how come I can't handle the fact that people are salty around me without fucking trying to rescue them all the time?
Okay, so if I'm accepting that trait, and I'm learning to deal with it and or manage it.
Learning to love it and be grateful for it.
Right.
Your lack of appreciation for the behaviors he's demonstrating, your inability to see how those behaviors are serving you, serving the mission, serving the company, serving him, are robbing you of the opportunity to stay focused on your mission. Because you're attached and addicted to the fact that he's salty and you're trying to fix him.
Yeah.
Maybe let him fix himself.
Is that real?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
That is real.
That is absolutely real.
Yeah. And giving me the skills and the ability to do that, to appreciate it, to address it, to whatever, then he can make his own choice in life. And if he chooses to take it at that point, then I have my strategy. And if not, then I've accepted it. I've learned how to deal with it. I'm like, okay, he's responding this way for a reason. What do I do? How do I adjust? Opposed to just saying, fuck, he's being salty, get rid of him, next guy. Blah, blah. It's not solving anything. It's just finding the new girlfriend that's still going to be bitchy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we should.
I have a lot of experience in the deficit spending decision matrix. You know, like a lot. I'm really, really good at managing a lifetime of deficit spending. I'm well appointed for government. There's this show on Netflix called Atypical. Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Watched it, but I saw it come up, yeah.
Okay, basically it's about this kid who's on the spectrum. And like watching this show, like I've had 4 people in my life label me as having Asperger's. I don't know if the label's true or not. But this show, for whatever reason, painted a picture for me that explains in many ways my perception of being different. Like how hyper literal I am. And how when I computate something as true, it's just true and that's just how it is. And I don't fucking care about your feelings. And so all of a sudden I'm seeing these moments where I'm like, oh my God. I guess maybe there is some potential that I am biologically different in some way. And that I do operate differently as a result of whatever the fuck that all means. Like the labels aside. It's helped in some way to bring me meaning. Or to help me understand myself. And then I also have some fear about it because there's, I guess, you know, I have some stigma, like, I don't want to be labeled that way as different or whatever. At least I'm not a kid being labeled and forced to take drugs, you know. But it does give me a sense of, like, what is just normal and computational for me is, in the majority of people, not normal and not computated. And so, you know, that's a blessing and a curse. That is a gift. I've been gifted with that. It is what makes me a master applicator of the work provided to me by John. I've been given a framework, and because of the fact that I'm on that spectrum, or whatever the fuck that label is, I have this ability to just, like this morning at the table, I can just follow the string, and along the way just see things that other people don't see. That's
struggling with all this?
A little.
Or are you just saying?
I'm just digesting it.
It sounds like you're at odds with yourself. But
Yeah, I am a little. I am a little. I don't want to go around being like, I'm Asperger's. Like, that's not my intention. I don't want to wear the label as a title, but I want to use the tool as a way to understand myself.
So if you know who you are and it's okay, it's Asperger's. Yeah, got it. That's all symptoms. Then don't you literally know now the methodology of exactly how you're going to work, so you can literally manipulate it to your benefit to know exactly who you are? So having that label, you don't have to proclaim it as a famous thing. This is who I am. It's just like, I now know my methodology. I accept it and I embrace it.
Yeah, I'm just identifying that in beginning to accept that, it's bringing up for me like reactions. It was just like super strange to watch this show, to watch this actor play this role, and then to realize, like, I guess in a way I was able to see someone engage with other people on a TV show the way I engage with other people, and have him not be understood the same way I perceive I'm not understood. Like, and there's been moments where it's like she reacted to an email her dad said, and then she said something. She was like, you know, that's gangster, or something like that to her dad based on what he said. And I read the email, and then I was like trying to figure out her response to it. And I thought there was meaning in her choice of that's gangster. And so I was trying to figure out like the relationship between her response and the content to the fucking email. And she's like, what are you not, like, I'm just, and she's like, I could say like, that's sweet, or wow, amazing. And I'm like, oh. And so it's like in those moments where I realize, like, I've missed something. That makes me sad, I guess. What I'm feeling right now is like, I feel like I'm missing out.
I get it. Yeah. Why are you different? You're not like somebody else. You're not getting a sense of community, tribe. Whatever.
Yeah, like, because if Jamie and Mike and Everett were there, they'd all get it.
Yeah, I get it. But that's okay.
I guess that makes me sad.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining us again today. It's always nice to share our experiences of maps with everybody, and I'm glad that you got an insight on that. Now, obviously, we talked today a lot about, you know, saltiness and all those good things. So if it triggered you, let me know. If it made you super happy, you know, let us know that too. We're always happy that you're just around for the ride, and we're also always looking for your feedback. So make sure you scroll down, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Come check us out again next time, and we'll catch you then.